Few of you asked how I've built this catapult system. So here it is. When I started, I didn't fully know what I need. It was a bit of a trial and error, mostly errors in the beginning. So in this video, I'll show you how it works, what to avoid, and how to build one yourself. Let's get into it. The system is pretty simple. You need an air compressor, an air regulator, solenoid valve, and the cylinder or actuator, however you want to call it. Also some tubings and fittings. That's everything in theory. The air compressor I'm using is Draper 6 liters. The important thing here is to get one with a tank, because the tank stores pressure and it gives you consistent results. Next is the air pressure regulator. This controls how much pressure goes into your system. I tried a couple of cheap ones, but they were not precise at all. So the one I ended up with is called SNS Air Pressure Regulator. It doesn't come with the adapters. None of them comes with the adapters. Then is the solenoid valve, which is actually your trigger. You press it, air flows, the cylinder moves. You can automate it if you want. This side is electronic. You can connect a button or an Arduino, but I just use the button, simple and reliable. It looks complex, but it's actually pretty easy as soon as you understand it. It doesn't come with adapters as mentioned, so we'll have 3 holes in the back and 2 on the top. The ones on the top are marked with A and B, and those are your outlets. Then the one on the bottom is R and S, those are exhaust ports, and the P, the one in the middle, is your supply. Now the cylinder, this is what actually does the movement. 2 key things here, stroke and bore. Stroke is how far it moves, bore is how much force it has. I tested both long and short. The long ones are great until they are not. They are not very stable, but they are good for pushing things. The shorter ones are much more controlled. They are better when you want to throw heavier stuff in the air, like a glass full of liquid and ice. So the system goes like this. Air comes out of the compressor, it goes into your regulator, then into your trigger, and eventually is moving your cylinder. Simple on paper, slightly less when you have all the parts in front of you. The tubes I'm using are black to avoid reflections on set. They have 8 millimeters the outer diameter and 5 the inner diameter. It works well, but if you want more speed and power, go bigger. Something like 10 or 12 millimeters. When you buy your first tube, buy a kit because it comes with the correct adapters, some Teflon tape, and a tube cutter. Now let's build it up. For one cylinder system, you're gonna need 8 adapters. For each extra cylinder, you're gonna need 2 more adapters. Start by preparing at least 8 adapters. They already have some Teflon tape around here, but for me it was not enough. So get some Teflon tape, put it around, and you should end up with something like this. Then tighten everything properly. Make sure you cut your tubes straight. If the cut isn't clean, you're slowly gonna lose pressure. Now let's connect everything. First, you'll need this kind of tube. Those fittings are called European quick fitting. You have male and female. This one is also a female. Now let's connect the tube to the air compressor. You're gonna need another male European fitting, which initially comes something like this, and you have to put an adapter in, push it in. To take it out, you just pull this side down, same here. Now you need a tube. Cut a small piece, push it in, that's it. This is how you fix it, you just push it in, and if you want to take it out, press this blue side and the tube is easily coming out. Next is your regulator. If you turn it upside down, you're gonna see an arrow. The arrow is your source coming from the air compressor. Push that one in. Then you need another small tube. Fix it on the other side, nice and tight. Then is your trigger or valve. You put the small tube that comes out of your regulator into the P or source. We're gonna need some tubes to connect them to your cylinder. Put one end to A, another one into B. If you want to launch stuff in the air or push things, A goes into your top and B goes into the bottom. So this means the cylinder starts from this position, and when you press the button, is extending. When you release the button, will go back. If you put them the other way around, the cylinder starts from this position, and when you press the button, it goes in. We're gonna make a lot of noise. Turn on the compressor. let it build up the pressure. It will automatically stop when it's reaching its maximum pressure. And if you leave it on, as soon as the pressure drops, it will start again. I turn it off now because I don't want noise surprises. Let's see if it works. Press the button, release the button. The first time is actually pretty satisfying. Now you have to check for leaks. To do that, you just mix some water with some liquid soap and add to all the adapters and fittings. If you get bubbles, it means air is leaking. If you don't get bubbles, you are good to go. If you are getting bubbles, you have to tighten everything up, add more Teflon tape, or the cut on your tube is not completely straight. See which one works for you. Now, speed control. This can be adjusted through your regulator. So right now, our compressor has about 110 psi, but my regulator has only 35. So the regulator will allow just 35 psi constantly to go through your system. So every time when you press the button, you will have the same force. Also, the valve has those exhaust ports, and these two things are called mufflers. Usually, when I want to throw stuff in the air, because I want to have the maximum power that the regulator gives me, I will leave the air exhaust port empty and just add one muffler into the S port. So what this will do, when the cylinder comes back to its original position, will come slower. Fun. Now, this is when you want to throw stuff, but let's say you want to drop stuff. A into the bottom instead of the top, and B into the top. Let's change those quickly. So now, as you can see, the cylinder starts from this position, and when I'm pressing the button, will go in. Let's do a test. This is an L shape I built up from plexiglass. Is not the best, but it does the job. Normally, when you want to drop things, because this will drag your object, you want to have one of them in both sides. So you're gonna need two cylinders. Oops. Oops. Nice. So no muffler means the fastest speed you can get. With muffler, you can slow it down. Easy. You can put on both sides, or if you really want, you can not use them at all. I usually use only one to slow down the return movement, mainly to avoid as much as possible moving the set. Now, how about if you want to use multiple cylinders? Well, for this, you're gonna need something called splitter, and it looks like this. You're gonna need two splitters for each cylinder that you add. What is important here, you need same tube size and same tube length if you want the cylinders to activate in the same time. So first, you're gonna need two small pieces. You put them in, one into the A port, one into the B port. Then you fix the splitters. I already have some equal size tubes here. Fix them into the A port. And then the other side goes into my first cylinder on the top, and the other one, second cylinder on the top. Then the other two, both into the B port. Then one into this cylinder, the other one into this cylinder. Again, noise. And this one is a bit older. It went through a lot, so it moves a bit slower. But if you take the muffler out, because now there's more pressure, we'll move the same. Nice. The pressure gets shared, and you're gonna start feeling it when you add multiple cylinders. That's why I was saying earlier, I would prefer bigger tubes. Okay, I'll clean the table a bit now. When you purchase the cylinder, it comes with one nut, just like this. So I went to Wix and purchased some washers and a wing nut. In my case, they are M8, but make sure you get the right ones for your cylinder. For mounting, I went to Tesco and got some containers, different sizes, different shapes. Drill a hole in the center, try to be precise. If not center, it will spin, which is annoying. Tighten up as much as possible the nut that comes with the cylinder. Then add one washer. Add your container. another washer. Come on. And the wing nut. And now you have a catapult. Yay! If you are thinking to throw, like I did, lemons, or a glass with condensation, or ice, add a rubber washer to protect the cylinder. That's the setup. It's actually pretty simple when everything is connected. Getting there just take a bit of patience. If you have any questions, drop them below. And if you build one, I would love to see what you make. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.